Logging is divisive here in Tasmania. The economic argument versus the environmental. But there's a company on the west coast who found a way to sail right on down the middle. They're logging old growth forests and saving the planet at the same time.
My name's Andrew Morgan. I'm a Tassie boy, so I grew up in Burnie, moved to Launceston for a year, and then moved down to Hobart for uni.
Well, I reckon we should trim them up and get them off to the mill.
Dave and I met at the uni bar, where all good friendships are made.
We need to come up with Stanley, I reckon, go right at the top.
Yeah, see what's up there. I'm Dave Wise, and I went to school in Hobart and lived down the Huon Valley for a while.
How's it looking out there, mate?
So our business is Hydrowood, which is salvaging timber from the lakes on the west coast of Tasmania.
You're heading back up the Wilson somewhere? Yeah.
The west coast is uniquely different to anywhere else that I've been in Australia. It's starkly beautiful, but can also be very rugged, and it is remote. Even though there are towns sort of pocketed through it, there's large areas of just nothing.
It's got wild weather, mountains, rainforests. Yeah, it's an amazing place.
Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to finally meet you, Dave.
Nice to meet you too.
G'day, Andrew.
meet you, Chrissy.
Thanks for having me out here.
No worries.
What a spectacular part of the world, honestly. It's just blowing my mind.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Tell me though, how on earth did you come up with this idea of underwater logging?
Well, I was doing some flying in the southwest and saw the trees sticking out of the water, as you can see here, from the remnant hydro dams, and thought, is that a potential resource?
It is essentially a waste product, isn't it? Like, it's going to waste otherwise.
It is deteriorating slowly underwater. This product's been sitting here for 30 years. Everyone else has looked at it and decided it had no value until we came along and he had a crazy idea that we could actually salvage it.
There was obviously some doubters because it was a bit of a crazy concept, but nearly 10 years later, here we are.
So how does the timber get from out there, under the water, to up here?
Well, fundamentally, it's a standard forestry harvesting head that's been waterproofed on the end of an excavator. And it goes down and actually grabs onto the tree trunk, and a chainsaw comes out of the harvesting head, cuts the tree off clean, and then pulls the tree out and onto the harvesting barge. Then we come along with our tugboat, grab that harvesting barge, bring it up to the landing for full production.
I think it's something I have to see with my own eyes.
Absolutely.
Andrew, I have to ask, can you call this an eco-industry when you're cutting down trees?
Yeah, well, I think so. I mean, this was a man-made construct. So the forest was here 30 years ago. We put a dam in one end for hydroelectricity. The lake levels came up and those trees died. So these trees are deteriorating, albeit quite slowly, but by us coming and recovering and salvaging that timber, we can use it now. Importantly, we harvest the tree and we cut it. We don't pull out from the base, so we're not causing sedimentation into the lake. We had to tick through a lot of boxes to be able to do the operations, and we're very cognizant of the threatened species that may be around the valleys, like wedge-tailed eagles and sea eagles.
Shane Rose operates the harvesting barge. Hey Shane, how are you?
Good, thanks Christy, how are you?
He's got a better view than any capital city corner office. So what did you think when you first got out here? I mean, it's pretty mind-blowing.
When I first come down and seen it, have a look for the day and see whether I wanted to be here or not, I was a bit worried about it all when you get up in that thing, and it's a bit daunting.
And I've been watching you do it. It seems so difficult. How do you know what you're doing and where that tree is? It's murky black water.
Yeah, you can't see anything, it's all feel. So I'll pick a tree, like after a long time you know which trees are what, and I just pick one out and I'll go and have a crack at that one, and hopefully she just goes down, you grab hold of it and squeeze the trigger.
Is it dangerous though?
It's more so when you go to grab them because they're rotten, and sometimes you grab them and the top will just fall out and you just shut your eyes, put your head down. Yeah, just wait for it to fall down around you, and hopefully it doesn't do any damage is the main thing.
The timber pulled out of Lake Pieman is used in high-end architecture, like Macquarie House in Launceston, and by furniture designers, like master woodworker Simon Anker. Hello Simon,
G'day,
nice
Chrissy.
to meet you.
And you.
This place is buzzing.
Yeah, it's a hive of activity at the moment.
And is this the famed hydrowood?
This is it. This is some myrtle brought up from the depths of Lake Pieman. Yeah, it's a really lovely timber.
Well, I'd like to see more.
Yeah, come through, come through. So that's a Prue table, and this is a custom dining table. That's the underside.
Wow, beautiful.
The sideboard going together there. chair seat production. And then over here we've got a sunburst side table.
Very nice. The idea of using this timber, were you sceptical at first?
Well, if I'm being honest, the first
Go on, be honest.
the first pieces of the sassafras, they absolutely stank.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like mouldy socks.
Really?
Yeah. But once fully sanded, it was great.
And has it been popular as a timber?
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. To make use of this, a lost resource in a really positive way, having a story that people can really get behind and get excited about.
The dinner table brag.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you?
What about yourself? Is there a burning desire to make something with the hydro wood you haven't yet?
What I'd love to do is build probably a paddleboard using the hydro wood and return that back to Lake Pieman and go for a little paddle out there.
What a moment.
I think that'd be a nice way, a return. But I need to practice the paddleboarding though, because
We don't want you to sink and
it'll be
become a log
trip.
yourself.
Yeah. That'll be on the cards. Yeah.